So going back to the model, we got that finished, and let's finish up the for each loop. So first of all, we want to find the weight, and the weight might be slightly confusing, but hopefully I can explain it clearly. What I want to do is I want to give each of the tags a specific weight. We're going to give it a value between 1 and 10, with 10 meaning that it's extra important because there are a lot of articles that have used that tag, and 1 being the least important. Very few articles have used that tag. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a weight variable and call it weight. And I'm going to start by taking the tag total value, and I'm going to divide that by this largest. Okay, so like so. So that's going to give us the number of times this specific tag has been used divided by the number of times the most popular tag has been used. And we're going to multiply that by 10. So if we, for example, that should give us a percentage out of 100 if we multiply it by 100. But I'm going to just multiply it by 10, and then I'm going to round it like so. And that will give us the value between 1 and 10 that we need for the weight. And now it's just a matter of adding in the data to the table. So I'm going to start off with a new table row. And the first table data cell will include tag ID. Like so. And then we have a couple other, oopsie. We want tag ID, we want the name, we want the total, and finally we want the weight, which I'll put here. And let's close off the row. So okay, so that's set. Let's go ahead and preview this. One thing I do want to fix quickly before we preview this is we want to make sure this function is fine. So let's go ahead, go back to the tagcloud model. And for the moment, when this function is called, let's simply return nothing, like so. So let's preview this and see what we get. Okay, quick fixes here. On line 70, missed a closing semicolon. There we go. Okay, so what we have now is we have a list. It includes all of our tags organized in alphabetical order, including the count, which is the number of times they've been used, and their weight. So notice the one that's been used the most is most important because it has a weight of 10, and then the ones that are used less and less have lower and lower weights. The last thing to do is create our get tagcloud function, and this should go pretty quickly now that we have all the basics in place. So let's remove this, and obviously we first check, we want to make sure there are tags to display. Otherwise, we display a no tags to display message. Now within this if statement, we're going to create an unordered list, and this is going to contain all of our tags for our tag cloud. So like what we did above, I'm going to create a data variable and set it to nothing at first, and then data dot equals, and give it a class of tagcloud, like so. And then I'm going to include a for each So again, like what we were doing above, so this tags as tag, and just below that we're going to finish off data like so, and then we're going to return the data variable. Okay, so let's go back to within our for each. We want to find the weight, because that's how we're going to specify what CSS class to give our link. And we can simply copy and paste the weight that we used up above. So like so. And then let's create the list item. So li. And it's going to be a link. And we're not going to create this in this video, but obviously you could link this out to a page which would display all of your blog posts that included this tag. So in that case, I'm going to link it out to a tags.php, and we're going to set the ID in the URL. And we're going to set that to the value within tag, and we'll set that to the ID. So there's that. Now let's finish off the link. Let's actually just finish this line right here and continue on. And we're going to want to include the tag name here. Excuse me, actually. So we include the link, we want to actually include a class as well. I missed that. So class equals, and within this section we want to include the weight. And we're going to include tag and then the weight in the form of the number that we got here. So if this was a weight 1, the class would be tag and the number 1. Okay, so that finishes off our link. We have the tag name, and we finish off the link and the list item, like so. I noticed one quick typo that we needed to fix. If you look on the line above, you'll need to change the single quote. You need to make that an equals and then move the single quote just before the class statement. So that will fix the link. There was an issue before. And then one other thing that I noticed that was a little bit strange, just a weird Safari browser quirk. But if you save this and let's go to preview. Let me refresh and go down. You'll notice that we get our tag cloud and items have spaces in between them, but this one is very obviously extending past the border. And I have to admit I'm not completely sure why this fixes it, but if you go ahead and add a new line like so, that takes care of part of it. Let me refresh, and things start looking a little bit better, but we still have this turquoise link issue. So if you go back to view, and instead of margin right, let's change that to padding. And we're going to add 0 top and bottom padding and 5 pixels left and right, and that should take care of it. It's a little bit quirky like that. I'm not exactly sure why that happens. I may need to do some more research. But anyway, so that's the completed tag cloud. We obviously have our tag cloud page. We list all the tags with their IDs, the number of times they were used, and how much we've weighted them. And then we have the tag cloud itself. That wraps up today's tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me either at my email, ben@killersites.com, or on the Killer Sites forums, which is killersites/community, where I go by the username Falcon Creative. Thanks for watching.